Hi, everybody, and welcome to EdTech Chat in 2, number 29. Look at that, my friends. We're almost in 30s. Isn't that cool?
That's awesome. 29's your 29th birthday is always that big one right before you become a real adult, so. So we're almost grown up as a show,
Or if you're like my granny, or my husband's granny is who it was. She was 30, or she was 29 for like 30 years. She was just old in there for a long time. Well, so we're excited to have you all with us today for our episode. Today we're going to be talking about some of our favorite tools for global collaboration. And always with me are the coolest team ever. We have Mike from Pennsylvania.
Hi, everyone.
Karen from Texas.
Howdy.
And Micah from up the street in Kansas.
Afternoon.
And then I'm here at home today. Sadly, Little Smoke is sick, so, he's hanging out with your kid. It's a good day, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So, Mike, give us an update on the Virtual Valentine project. Where are we?
Virtual Valentine registration is still open, and it's going great. I think we have 70-plus classrooms right now from 4 or 5 different continents. We've got classes from Macedonia and Greece and Russia, I think, Asia, South America, Venezuela. So we've got lots of different classes in, and everyone I talk to is really excited about the project. So we're looking forward to seeing what people do with that.
Well, it's one of my favorite projects of the year that we do. So round 2, our second time running it, I think it's going to be better than the first.
Yeah, and I love this project because it's so easy. I mean, even if you choose a tool that you've never used before, like Animoto, you just drag and drop the slides in, and put a little music to it, and boom, you've got an awesome virtual Valentine that you can send to someone around the world. So.
Exactly, and Karen, do you have any new classrooms in El Paso that are jumping in for the first time?
I have quite a few new classrooms that are jumping in. I'm so excited because the teachers they're really excited about it. Again, the ease and just connecting with another classroom. So I do have quite a few that are jumping on board. Yay.
And Micah, I know you have quite a few.
I'm really excited. We threw the easy button at them and they said I'm in. So we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. And I'm going to be posting it on the Teachers Leading page today, so maybe we'll end up with even larger global audience. We have quite a few folks from Greece that are on that Facebook page, so maybe we'll get a few more of Eero's friends. And get a big shout out to Eero because she's just one of our super fans on the show, and she jumps into any project we throw at her. So thanks, Eero. Okay, Matthew. Oh, no, go ahead.
That's a great segue, Diane, because today's show we're going to be talking about global learning, and the reason for that is Karen and I are going to be presenting on behalf of the podcast at TCEA next week. We're going to be doing a session. Don't remember the exact name of it, but it's a 90-minute bring your own device workshop on tools that allow students and teachers to connect globally for global learning, for better global understanding, something to that effect. And so we thought that today's show we would use as kind of a brainstorming session to help Karen and I put that presentation together and talk about some different tools. So we're going to kind of discuss our favorite global learning tools. But the reason why Eero is a great segue is because we've reached out to Eero and asked if she would do a either mystery Skype or join us for 5 minutes during our presentation to talk about the impact that global learning has had on her students in Greece. And so as long as we have the bandwidth at the conference, or we use Karen's hotspot, we should be able to bring Eero and possibly some of her students into our session, when we're down in Texas.
That's great! I'm so excited. Eero is a rock star global collaborator, so what a perfect person to bring into your conference presentation. That is cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike, do you want to start with you? What's some of your favorite tools?
Yeah, sure. So I know I'm definitely going to be talking about Skype in the classroom because hands down that's my favorite, I guess, tools because they are quite different to get students collaborating. So I think most people are familiar with Skype, the video conferencing service. Your grandmother uses it to connect to your kids, or when your husband's away, that's how you keep in touch and you can see each other. But Skype in the classroom is really the what makes Skype special, because that's where you find the connections and the lessons you need to give great experiences to your kids. So for example, if I needed to talk to, or let's go back in December. I was putting together a global holiday song exchange where we wanted to share our favorite holiday songs with people around the world and have their students sing to us. So I used the Skype in the Classroom page to put together a lesson on what we were looking for, and then I shared that lesson out to my networks on Facebook and Twitter and other places, and people came and signed up for our lesson. So they contacted me and said, yes, we want to be a part of that. And because of that, we had countries from as far away as China and Russia, and I think we had every continent except for Antarctica represented, where we had students singing to each other their favorite holiday songs and then explaining some of their Christmas traditions or other holiday traditions in December. So Skype in the Classroom is the tool that allows you to make the connections to have the experiences you want, globally.
Absolutely. And I don't know, poll the audience. You're all a fan of Skype? Yes, we are.
Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, 3 of us here in this out of the 4 are Skype master teachers. So,
Karen's going to be in this next year. We're just going to
absolutely. Actually, we were just talking about that right before we started recording, Karen and I. So yeah, we'll bring her on next year.
We'll make that happen. And
do it.
Well, I think it would be awesome, definitely. But I totally agree with you, Mike. Skype has been around since 2006, and Classroom started launching with it even as early as that time. But I would say in the last 3 years, huge impacts of Skype in classrooms than previous. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And maybe do you want to talk a little bit about Mystery Skype and how the Skype in the Classroom website kind of ties in with that?
Actually, I'm going to pass that one over to Micah. Do you want to talk about Mystery Skypes, Micah?
Sure, I'll talk a little bit about Mystery Skypes. Mystery Skypes are fun for all ages, actually, because there's different types. You can engage in location Mystery Skypes, where you're trying to guess each other's locations by asking yes or no questions. You can engage in Mystery Number Skypes. Kind of the sky's the limit. We even played a Mystery Turkey Skype over Thanksgiving, where we had to guess the other turkey's occupation because he was hiding from Thanksgiving dinner. So really, it's just Mystery Skypes are a great way to engage all kinds of different curriculums.
Most definitely, and they're easy.
Yes, it's a great way to get started with Skype in the Classroom.
Most definitely, and the interactive map that's on the education.skype.com website, if you're looking to connect with some place like the Bahamas or Russia or Sri Lanka, you can go into this interactive map and you'll actually find the teachers who will do Mystery Skype. It's super easy to start getting connected around the world. We even did a Skype across Latin America day with our freshman students and found most all of them through Skype in the Classroom's website. So it was fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, when I'm showing that map, I love to go to Kazakhstan. Because you say, there can't possibly be people in Kazakhstan that are willing to, Mystery Skype with their classroom. And sure enough, there's 3 classrooms in Kazakhstan that are happy to connect with you if you're looking for them. So.
Well, it's interesting that you would pick that region of the world because I have seen a big influx of people from that particular hemisphere and that particular latitude around that range that are now wanting to do Mystery Skypes and get involved. Time zones make it a little bit tough for us from here to there, so that's when we use the video messaging tool. And Mike, how does that work?
Yeah, so if you think about like a postcard or a message that you would send, like a text, you can send text messages back and forth in Skype to someone else, but you can also send a video message of up to 3 minutes. So you just click on record, say what you want to say, create a little video, and it'll be waiting for your partner class when they come in the next day. So we've used this to do Mystery Skypes with Taiwan and Japan, and other places in that area of the world where we can't do a live call because the time zone changes. And we leave a question for them one morning. The next day they answer it and leave a question for us, and then we answer it and leave a question for them until both both classes figure out what country the other one's in.
We have a class a 3rd grade class is working with the similar age in Turkey, and they're doing questions about lunches back and forth and some of the cultures that we have at our schools. It's easy, really easy to do. Micah, let's pass back to you real quickly. What are some of your other favorite global collaboration tools?
If you're talking tools, you have to have a good webcam. If you're going to make the babies the stars of your call and have them being engaged and involved, you need a webcam that will allow you to do that. So instead of just having that handy-dandy little webcam right now on the teacher's face, you can then pan it around to students and have them asking the questions and interacting with their call.
Absolutely. The one that we recommend a lot in our district if you're going to buy a freestanding webcam is the Logitech 920C, because it'll do a widescreen classroom set. Karen, do you use a different one than that?
Sorry, I was unmuting there. And here I do the same thing. I have a Logitech that I will lend out to my teachers if their computer webcam doesn't work. But I don't typically recommend the computer webcam because then, again, it's just focused on one person and you can't move it around. Yeah, so Logitech as well.
Mike, any other suggestions?
Nope, I have a Logitech also, but I am not nice enough to lend it out. If you want to use it, you got to come to my classroom.
Yeah, it's such a bummer when you make connections with awesome people and the connection's not as great because of the webcam. So if you've got the awesome tool, use it.
Yeah, I've seen teachers use iPads and other things. But what I'm getting to now teach them is to try to keep it still, because even when it's their first time using the iPad and the webcam, they forget that when they're swinging around, the other end is like, feels like they're on a merry-go-round. But I mean, it's all through learning experiences. As you try it out, you go, okay, I wonder how I can make this a little bit better. And so even in the start, if it starts with an iPad, you start with an iPad and you gradually figure out how to make it better as you go.
Agreed. And I think the iPad is great for the video messaging tool, though. You can give tours of your building. Stop in front of the cafeteria and have a little video recording there, where it's a little difficult to do that with a portable webcam and all that going on.
Yeah.
But great suggestion, Micah. I think that's critical, is to have a great webcam. Karen, what about you? What are your favorite tools?
My favorite tool personally, other than Skype in the classroom and Google Plus if Skype is blocked, is using Twitter, because for me, I wish I were a little more global. I'm working on it, and you guys are definitely inspiring me to do so. But if I'm looking for an expert, I can typically search through different hashtags and find somebody and just send a quick tweet to them and say, hey, are you interested in connecting? And I would say most of the time they are interested in connecting. And something that I'm starting to look into is some of the Twitter classrooms. There are teachers who have their Twitter handle. They also have their Twitter handle for their classroom. So their classroom is able to make connections as well. And so I think Twitter is, it's pretty amazing. So that's another pretty cool tool out there.
Absolutely. And Mike, I know you have used Twitter to find experts for your class as well.
Absolutely. I'm a big believer in Twitter, and I've spent a lot of years cultivating my Twitter network to make sure that I've got the right people in there, and that I have a nice global network of teachers. And I think we've talked about it on the show before, but the 7 degrees of separation, the Kevin Bacon effect, where if you need someone, you may not know who they are, but you know someone who knows someone who knows who they are. So if you throw it out to your network, and your network is big enough and has the right people in it, you'll be able to find pretty much whoever you need for your classroom. And I would say, go ahead, Karen.
As I say, and I think you saying that, Mike, is really important, as your network, is building your network. I'm still a little bit quieter than I should be on Twitter. But again, if anybody sends me a personal message, I reply right away. I'll get that ding and I send a message back. And so don't be shy, even if you're quiet like me. Just sending that little tweet, you'll typically get a reply right away.
Agreed. And you talked about the 6 degrees there, Mike. Just this week, I was in Orlando on Saturday at the Disney parks, and was kind of giving a virtual tour with all of my digital network friends, because I was in the parks by myself. I said, I can't go by myself. I've got to bring all my Facebook to this. But sure enough, someone in my Facebook network has a brother who's a Disney Imagineer. And so they're going to Skype in to talk to some middle school kids this week. So I'm really excited.
So this is a great time to bring up that Skype has a group call feature, where you can bring in one of my classrooms, Diane.
Yes, we can.
And it's free for educators, isn't it?
We can actually have 10 classrooms, so we could all be there in the same. But yeah, definitely, you got to have that network to make connections, not with just you directly, but friends of friends make a huge connection all the way around. And sometimes you will find an expert who says, I'm really not comfortable talking to kids, but this guy who works next to me in the next cubicle he would be awesome, and then you go that direction as well.
Yeah.
And for myself, I think the last tool for great global collaboration is a great website. I think you need to have something like a Weebly or a Facebook page, even if it's your Twitter handle. It's critical that you document the experiences that are happening with your students. Because if you send someone a ping on Twitter and they say, like, hey, check out our website, this is what we do, then they're like, oh, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing a project like the Virtual Valentine, you're going to need a space to pull all that data in and have a home base for those classrooms you want to connect to be a part of your project. So our team here uses Weebly because it's kind of the easy button. There's Google Sites and all of that, but I really think Weebly, for me personally, is the best option because we can all collaborate on it easily, and it makes a professional-looking website. So those, I think, would be like the perfect little tool. What do you think, Mike? This whole set together.
Yeah, actually, I've got one or two more that I'm going to mention. But I love Weebly for the reasons you mentioned. It's so easy. It's just drag and drop. But also, it allows multiple people to collaborate from all over different locations. So you could have, whether it's your students that are collaborating, 5 kids at different places in your district, from home, that are all working on the same site together, or you could have 5 people in different locations all over the globe. For our distance teaching project, we have teachers in Venezuela, the United States, France, Kenya, China, that are all editing one Weebly. So when their students put up teaching videos, they're all able to embed them right onto that site at the same time. So that's a great global collaboration tool. But I would say blogging is also a great way to get started with global collaboration. Your students are sharing their learning anyway. You do a great project where you study something in the world and you write about it. Put that out on Twitter and get your kids' comments from people around the world. And the better your network is on Twitter or Facebook, the more international your network is as you build it, the better you're going to be able to bring in people with different perspectives to give your kids blog comments. And and go through lessons on how to have your kids comment on other people's posts. Maybe you could even do like a virtual pen pal kind of situation where you comment back and forth with each other. We've found that to be very effective.
That's how I jumped in last year, Mike. Sorry to jump in, but I did quad blogging.
Yeah.
That's why I jumped in, and it's a really easy way for people to jump into blogging with their kids if they haven't done so already. The platform I used was KidBlog. That's what I use with my primary babies, but you just go to quadblogging.org, and they partner you up with 3 other classrooms, and each week you're
Looks like we might have lost Micah for a second.
She'll be back. We'll make it happen. But yes, have you ever done the quad blogging, guys?
Go ahead, Karen. Have you ever done it, or?
No, but I've been reading about it, and it's something that I keep sharing with my teachers, and I don't have a class, which is so sad. I'm really, but I guess the thing I was wondering, I don't know if you know this answer, Diane, is say if I wanted to get started with quad blogging next month, will they pair you up this late in the year?
Yes. It runs all year long.
Sweet.
So it's really slick. And they will just match you up by the ages of your students.
And I think it makes it a little less intimidating for a teacher to know that, I'm gonna blog this week, and we're gonna go and read other blogs and comment the following weeks. It makes it more doable. And again, they're interacting and collaborating.
And what's really great about that is you don't change your lesson plans. If your students are already going to be writing on the Iditarod, you just have them write on what you've assigned in class. Your partner classrooms are just meant to come in and give feedback on whatever is there, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's nice.
You don't have to get all 4 of you together going like, what do you want to write about? You just keep trucking on, and the kids are there just to provide feedback all the way around. Did Micah throw this again? Oh, she's still gone. But Mike, you said you had one other tool.
Yeah, so I think we should also mention Google Docs and Microsoft's OneDrive as a great way for people to collaborate. The way we were talking about Weebly, where multiple people in different locations can edit the same website. Well, using either one of those tools, whether it's OneDrive or Google Drive, you could have whether it's an Excel spreadsheet or a PowerPoint presentation or Google's equivalent of those things, or just a simple document. You can have multiple people in different locations that are editing that. So, we've used this for global projects. Last year we did a project for Pi Day where we had students all over the United States measuring circular objects for their circumference and diameter. And then they entered it into a spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet then calculated the mean, median, and mode of all the data that they were entering, so that we could see how close to pi, whether pi was the same in all different locations, whether it was 3.1415, so on and so forth, or whether it was different. And of course, we found that it's a constant, so it was the same everywhere. But then we had a great Skype call with multiple classrooms talking about measures of central tendency to talk about, in this situation, should we use mean, or should we use median, or should we use mode? Which would be the best measure to accurately describe this data set. And but the key point was having everyone able to edit one spreadsheet at the same time from multiple locations.
Agreed. And you don't just have the link and you're there. Micah, you're back. Hey!
Always have a plan B, C, D, E, with technical difficulties. That's one thing I always learned with my kiddos. But yeah, I'm back. Thanks.
So you were saying about quad blogging real quickly.
Yeah, it's just a great way for you to jump in to blogging with your kids. Just kind of the easy button if you're not sure of where to start.
Perfect. Okay, my friends, I think we've given our audience a pretty good set of tools. What do you think?
I think that's a pretty awesome list right there.
Well, and you really think about it. If you're going to be involved in global collaboration, let me throw one more piece in. I do believe that the Map Engines Lite tool with Google, which a regular Google login will get you into that, will allow you to build those interactive maps that we have been creating. And you can embed videos and photos, all kinds of things in those interactive maps, and then share that with your partner classrooms. So that would be my last little tool in that. So maybe photography. I think that's a good thing too.
Yeah.
That's more of a why than a tool. So that being said, let's talk lunch. Mike, what are you having today?
I am home. It's snowing again. So I had my wife the other night. We had people over, and she made this chicken pasta dish that with Emerald's Essence. It's like a Louisiana pasta. It was incredible. I've been eating it for like 3 days now. So I had that, and my daughter, because she's home on a snow day and a little bit bored, made brownies. So I'm looking forward to that in a little while.
Sounds awesome. What about you, Micah?
I'm having leftover white chicken chili.
Yum. And Karen?
I'm going to run to McDonald's and get chicken nuggets for my little guy and I guess myself for lunch. So yeah.
And I had free birds today, so it was pretty.
Oh, what is that? I've never heard of that before.
It's like Chipotle. It's very like Chipotle. It's a little bit, except all of the birds are free-range, organic kind of food.
Nice.
And it's an interesting, eclectic group of people that work there, but they're so fun and colorful. I just totally dig it in every way. But yeah, I was a stop after the doctor's office today, so I just spoil my kid. But who doesn't? Okay, my friends.
So Diane is
oh, sorry.
I was going to say, is this a place we can visit when we go up for Podstock?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to keep that in my...
Speaking of our audience friends, if you have not thought about Podstock, that is this July, and all of us will be there, plus a bunch of other of our super nerdy friends, so come join us. You can Google the words Podstock, podstock.com, or not .com, but definitely search that and you'll get more information. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.